heating up before it starts. I can see on the other side. It's over to you. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Safin. Let's take stock of devolution. Like I told you, our guest tonight is Speaker Ndegwa Wahome, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Nyandarua, and he's fighting personal political wars in Nyandarua. We'll talk about that later. But Speaker, karibu sana. First of all, say hi to the people of Kenya and Nyandarua County, and then we begin.
Thank you very much, Kioria and Safin, for having me here. I really appreciate it to be at KBC studios, and I want to greet the people of Nyandarua and across this country, being a representative of all the speakers and MCs across this country, and to tell them that as the body that lobbies for their interests, we are doing the best we can to see that assemblies remain stable, and also that they are forward-looking, and that they are able to secure the interests and aspirations of the people of this country.
All right, 8 years on after we introduced the concept of devolution, and we've tried to take, a stock of devolution. We had the senator here 2 weeks ago. Now we're talking to members of the county assembly themselves. And as a speaker, as the chair of the County Assemblies Forum, do you think MCAs have lived up to their billing in terms of oversighting county governments?
I think MCAs have done their best. But there are so many hurdles placed on the way so that some people can access public resources. And by that I mean that they can be able to do corruption, they can be able to do looting and the theft of public resources without any hindrance or without any watch by the county assemblies. And by this, we have really been agitating for the amendment of the Public Finance Management Act. So that the monies that are allocated to the county assemblies by the Commission on Revenue Allocation, by the Parliament, that money goes straight to the county assemblies, because the clerk of an assembly is the accounting officer. Why this money has to go through the governor? So the governor lords over the assemblies, and the assemblies are supposed to watch over the governor. Obviously, it is defeatist. And we don't see why, at this time, Parliament has not been intervened. I even today had a meeting with the Speaker of the Senate and some senators, and I believe because there is an omnibus law that will be introduced into the Senate and into the National Assembly, that amendment of the Public Finance Management Act will be one of the issues that will be addressed, because I can assure you, Bwana Kioria, there will be no proper oversight and stability in county assemblies as long as the governors are calling the shots on how assemblies are managed. You're
saying you're unable to do oversight basically because your monies come through the county executive. I want you to rate yourself. If you're unable to do it, then if you were to rate yourself 1 to 10 in terms of oversight, how would you say MCAs have fared?
I think I can say that in most of the assemblies, you can even go up to about 8. 8. And then to others, it is 0. Depending on the attitude of the governor. A governor who came to serve the people, they are very open to the assemblies, and assemblies are able to do their work. Governors who came to root, the oversight is 0, because they are able to manipulate the finances of the assemblies to ensure that they are at their beck and call. Therefore, it is a very, very sad affair. As I am here for Nyandarua, Nyandarua, the assembly is purely an appendage of the governor. As the speaker there, I cannot access even my office, just because we are oversighting the governor.
And we'll talk about Nyandarua in a bit. But Speaker, generally looking at it, you make it appear like it's only a legal, your only challenge to oversight is a legal challenge. Is that the only problem?
No, it is not a legal challenge. I think why I'm saying that you are doing well, the MCAs really understand what they are supposed to do. And they know their role of oversight, financial authorization, representation, and registration. But I'm saying, Kioria, without your financial independence, that you have to look over your shoulder to know how you need to oversight the governor, that you even call for your resources to be able to manage the oversight. Because when you are doing this oversight, sometimes you require engineers to come and tell you whether the big queues on a road have been implemented properly. If the governor is withholding your resources, how do you get that engineer to come and help you to do your oversight? How do you come and be able to get an accountant? How do you get a forensic auditor to come and help you? So until that time, that the resources for the assemblies come to the assemblies so that the assemblies are able to manage their affairs, especially around oversight. It is a big problem for devolution. And what I am saying, like now the BBI had a very, very good proposals of bringing down to the counties 35% of all the revenue for the country. But then, with the kind of oversight we have, the lack of financial independence in the assemblies, then it would just make some people billionaires, and Kenyans' aspirations would remain unsatisfied.
You've talked about the Nyandarua County Assembly, for example, being an appendage of the executive, according to you.
Yes.
And this is probably, if it were true, this is not the only county where we're seeing, members of the county assembly being appendages of the executive. Does that speak to the problem of the governor, or does that speak to the quality of MCAs we have, that willingly they have become appendages of the executive?
I think the main problem, as I have told you, is about the leadership. And when we are talking about leadership, we are talking about the governor. I can tell you, when I speak with the speakers and the MCAs across this country, there are MCAs, when they want the payroll from the governor, they will get it within 24 hours. When they demand CECs to appear before them, they will appear. But in some assemblies, you will not get that. Like in Nyandarua, I can tell you, we have been asking for the payroll, which short after Kimemia came in. It short from 1.6 billion to 2.1 billion. We have asked for that payroll since 2017. It cannot be failed. If it is construction of the potato processing plant, we had offered given 600 million. We have been asking for accountability on that. It has never been done. If it is the road machinery that the governor is singing about in Nyandarua all the time, 500 million was used. Some of it budgeted, others not budgeted, without even procurement plan. He cannot account for it. The easiest thing to do is to intimidate the MCAs. 7 MCAs in Nyandarua, they are only in the assembly courtesy of the court. Kimemia runs to Tuju. He gets letters to have them suspended from the assembly because they are asking him questions. All right, because so therefore, when Kioria, we are talking about accountability, it will not happen until the different entities in government play their role. All right. Like now, how would a Secretary General of a party suspend elected members from the assembly to protect Kimemia from being accountable? How can you give police to the governor of Nyandarua to stop the speaker from even accessing the assembly so that he does not become accountable? Okay, Speaker, we'll talk about that. Another issue I wanted to put across to you. Very quickly. Like the control of budget. Yes. In Nyandarua, the person who is purporting to be the clerk of the assembly is not even an employee of the assembly. But he's receiving money on behalf of the assembly. On behalf of the assembly. Okay. Just sitting in the assembly at the beck and call of the governor. The board that is authorizing expenditure at the assembly and making out payment is a board that has been barred by the High Court. But the control of the budget, on instructions of the governor, is releasing money for Nyandarua County Assembly. Is this exclusive to Nyandarua, or there are other assemblies doing the same? We are expecting that if the governors misbehave in other counties, the control of budget and other government agencies will also comply with what the governor wants. And what I'm saying, what is helping other counties is governors who behave and who are working towards satisfying the aspirations of their people. All right, let's come back to the county assemblies as the chair of that forum. The technical capacity of MCAs to oversight county governments, because there's always that, do they have the technical capacity to understand the issues in some of these reports and file, a good reports that probably even the Auditor General can rely on? Yes, actually we do very, very good reports. Okay. And with the partnership with the donors, the Danish Embassy, UNICEF, the CPST, our members are well trained. And we also have backup. Most of the assemblies have legal departments, they have finance departments, they have budget office, and therefore our members are also properly advised by our technical team, and we are supposed to work in tandem and in harmony. And I can tell you the reports that are coming from the assemblies, if they are properly implemented, the people of this country would see the fruits of devolution.
All right. Yes. What is the relationship between CAF, the County Assemblies Forum, and the Senate? Because some of these things, or these grey areas that need to be sorted out, some of which are legal, are things you should be working, together with the Senate to iron them out. What is the relationship between CAF and the Senate?
I would say it is a very good relationship.
Okay.
And we are going forward in leaps and bounds. From where I started in 2013, we are different. I was still the speaker in Nyandarua from 2013. And we have what we call the Legislative Summit. And I've said it today, I was with the Minister for Devolution, the Speaker of the Senate, and we are planning about the next Legislative Summit, where we come together and exchange experiences, and we look at the laws, we look at the weaknesses, and we are able to address those issues. So I can say that with the Senate, we are working well. And I think the Senate, under Article 96, is trying as much as possible to defend the devolution. The main problem also is individual senators. Like the senator for Nyandarua, despite all the wars that have been in Nyandarua for the last 1 year, our senator is comfortable.
You're talking about Senator Gideon?
Senator Gideon is very comfortable with Governor Kimemia. He will never raise a finger. Despite the chaos in Nyandarua, where the police and the thugs lie in wait at the chambers for the speaker and the progressive MCs to go. Our senator is very, very comfortable. He will not say anything. So the Senate as a house is a good house. And we are working very well. Okay. But individual senators, they should stand up to be counted.
All right. Yeah. I saw you had a meeting with IBEC, I think this year, yes. And on the issues of county allocations and timely, or how they sent timely to county governments has been a problem, and I think that problem was a little bit small earlier, but now they're going even to almost 4-5 months without the money being disbursed to the accounts of the county governments. I don't know what you're doing as a County Assemblies Forum to try and iron out these issues to ensure that county governments are still running even as we experience cash crunches.
I think that is a major problem, and it is actually beyond us. Okay. Because the law is very clear that money should be released to the counties in tranches, in 12 tranches every month. Initially it was to be released quarterly. The government was unable to do it, and therefore the Public Finance Management Act was amended so that monies are released monthly. Still there are some problems, and we don't know exactly what is the problem, but that is there is not much we can do about it. As assemblies, we can only make a lot of noise and complain because projects are not being implemented, but it is actually beyond us. We expect that it is Senate and the National Assembly who would intervene. But again, Kioria, even the National Assembly themselves, they have not received money for CDF. So even if we go to cry to them, they are crying even louder than ourselves.
I want you to react to a report by EACC, February this year, that says that county assemblies is another den of corruption when you're talking about procurement and the human resource management. In county assemblies, you see a lot of nepotism and corruption in county assemblies.
I don't think that is correct. And I actually have not seen that report. But what I would want to say is that I have not seen a specific complaint about nepotism and corruption in the human resource area within the county assemblies. I think like in Nyandarua, you have heard people saying the speaker has been employing his relatives and friends and whatever, but these relatives and friends have names. There is nobody to mention them. It is only the Governor Kimemia who will go around in Nyandarua talking about there is nepotism in the assembly, but he will not mention any names. We know where nepotism in this country, in the area of devolution, where it rests. In Nyandarua, I can tell you where nepotism is.
And not in county assemblies.
Not in the county assemblies. And I would say that within the EACC, I am not aware of any assembly that is being investigated for nepotism.
All right.
Yes.
As we wind up, Speaker, what next for you? A speaker who has been impeached 3 times. There appears to be a section of MCAs who are determined that he will never enter those precincts of the assembly. What is your next move?
No, there is no MCAs. This is not a war for the MCAs. This is a war by the governor, because Governor Kimemia thinks he is an emperor, that he should not be accountable to anybody. And he can use the police to barricade the assembly. He can call the control budget to release money to strangers He can call the treasury and the central bank to release money to strangers. Otherwise, there is no issue. If the police and the Mogiki are removed from the assembly, who are there? Courtesy of Kimemi.
Those are serious
I will
allegations.
go to that assembly. I would want you to call me here and Governor Kimemi.
Okay.
And then we are going to put these things in perspective. This country cannot run the way Nyandarua is running.
Okay.
That you are corrupt. You are rooting and killing the aspirations of the people. But you don't want to be asked any question. And other government agencies are helping you to kill the aspirations of the people. But the beautiful thing, and I'm telling the
Very
people
quickly,
of Nyandarua to remain calm, that on 9th of August next year, those thieves and rooters, we are going to send them away from Nyandarua.
And of course, we're hoping we'll get an opportunity with Governor Francis Kimemi so that he also has a rebuttal, because those are serious allegations you've made here. But well, time is up. We need to wind up because business is coming up next with Cindy and Nyamai. Don't go too far.